I had never worked with Drew. I know her husband fairly well, but I'd never had the pleasure of working with her. And I don't know if it was pleasurable at all.
Virtual reality.
All right, Phaedra, Danny, and I are so excited to chat. Thank you for taking the time. Let's get right into it. Tell us about the Silk partnership and the Serial Liar event. I feel like we're so sad that we missed out on it because it looked like a lot of fun.
Yes. It was awesome event. And really, it's all about catching these serial liars because it's been shown that almond milk is much more popular than dairy. And so it was a great event. We did a lie detector test with John Grogan, the legendary lie detector of all time. So it was a good event.
Wait, but I am wondering because of course, I mean, you have been in so many iconic shows. The Traitors is taking over right now. It's heating up again.
Oh, yes,
I'm
yes.
expecting to have you make a cameo, but I'm almost worried for you because how do you feel about them going after all the housewives immediately?
Well, I just think that was inevitable because, of course, after everyone figured out from last year that I was definitely a traitor, and, I think that just made them, unfortunately, a quick, easy target.
Mm.
But, I don't think they're giving the housewives a fair chance because we actually bring wonderful entertainment value. And so I think losing Dorinda day one was just a poor decision for the entertainment value because Dorinda is fabulous. I love her. I mean, she would have just between her fashion and her mouth, she would have definitely.
Well, I was really upset when all the traders were up in the turret and they decided we need to break up the housewives. And, not to say one housewife is greater than the other, but the fact that they went for Dorinda first is what really broke my heart because, like you said, the entertainment value of it all. I'm
Yeah.
wondering, Phaedra, because you recently said that Chanel Ayan was the most annoying housewife of all time. Do you think it would have been smarter to get rid of Ayan before Dorinda?
Well, I mean, the game is obviously about sussing out people who could potentially be great game players. And so when it comes to Chanel Ayan, because you can barely understand what she's saying, I don't think she was a real threat, to be honest. So, I mean, Dorinda was the smarter choice because Dorinda is definitely smart. She's quick on her feet. And I think that's probably what made them zoom in on her because she really came in hot when she got upset about them murdering her and not coming, picking up off of that, you
And
know, thingy.
and how do you feel? Because of course, you know firsthand, the Housewives fans are very passionate people, and a
Yeah.
lot of them are upset with Bob the drag queen. How are you feeling with him having all of this heat from them? Do you think it's just a game? Like, what are you making of that?
Well, you know what? I love Bob the drag queen. I mean, I love him. He's iconic in his own right. But I could see, I mean, and Bob the drag queen, he might be obviously noting from last year's playbook that the housewives are not to be toyed with.
Mhm.
So that was probably I mean, but I think people have to realize that this is definitely a game. And the game, I mean, everybody has to die.
Yeah.
That's the end all be all. The people have to die. And so there will be a lot of faithfuls lost along the way. I mean, obviously there's only four traitors, and it's so many people in this house. It's unbelievably packed. So I think, you just have to realize the objective of the game is to kill everyone and be the winner. So I mean, I hope people don't misjudge Bob because he is hilarious. He's definitely got a quick tongue. So I think he's going to bring a lot of entertainment value as well.
Well, everyone's dying on the traders, but your housewives career is more alive than ever. You came to save the latest season of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I know that Danny and I, for when we're on the edge of our seats, we absolutely cannot wait for that. When you think and reflect back on this past season of Atlanta and tying in the Silk partnership, who was the biggest serial liar this season on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, in your opinion?
Um, it would have to be Drew Sidora.
Okay. So it seems as though Portia, the frick to your frack, holds that same opinion. What can you tell us about the way Drew moved through this season? Why do you think that maybe she chose to be untruthful?
Well, I mean, I had never worked with Drew. I know her husband fairly well, but I'd never had the pleasure of working with her. And I don't know if it was pleasurable at all. However, she she was just forgettable.
Mm.
I mean, and the objective of any housewife is to be unforgettable. And I mean, I didn't, I didn't see a lot of memorable moments. However, she will have one at the end. Um, and that's what really made me suss her out as the serial liar.
So was she, and her serialized because she has a lot going on from the divorce to maybe some friendship fractions. Is she kind of, is it stuff with her relationship, or is she kind of just pissing off the ladies and being boring at the same time, which seems like a hard double whammy?
Um, well, she's just tardy. She's late for the party. I mean, she's just late for the party. I mean, literally and figuratively. Um, and I'm just there for the tail end of the show. So I didn't have the entire season to really gauge what she's done since day one. But my experience with her at the end was not pleasurable.
All right. Well, I don't know if you saw, but Cynthia Erivo, who plays Elphaba in Wicked and is having such a big moment, she
Yes.
is a massive Housewives fan, particularly of Atlanta. How did it feel to hear that she loves the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Because I have a feeling that your participation in the franchise as a whole has a lot to do with her love of the show.
Well, Cynthia Riva is definitely having such an amazing moment with Wicked. I'm so proud of her, so excited for her. Because I think she's a wonderful actress. Her voice is unmatched. And anytime anyone says that they love the Housewives, it warms my heart. It just makes my soul smile because it's such a endearing series. And so, of course, with so many, Salt Lake, Beverly Hills, you can choose any franchise to love. But when you love, obviously Atlanta, that's home for me.
Mhm.
And that's where, I started. So I adore her. So
And
that's really cool.
and you love her voice. Do you love her casting ideas? Because she thinks it's time for Nene to come back. And Nene's kind of been saying similar things. What are your thoughts on that? Because you just finished with the ladies, so you know the current setup very well. Would
Well,
she her?
I love Nene. We speak very often. I want what's ever best for Nene. And I want Nene to be happy. She looks so good right now. Every time we see each other, and we see each other very frequently. Um, she's happy. And so if it makes her happy to come back to the Housewives, I mean, that's not a decision I can make. That's up to NBC Universal, Bravo, and the powers that be. But I just want her to be happy. And she looks great. She seems to be feeling great. So, I mean, let's keep her in her happy zone.
That's right. Well, okay, Phaedra. Also, Cynthia said that she was a fan of Potomac, and because we have you on Zoom right here, right now, I have been dying for your opinion on those Karen Huger videos that came out and her skipping the reunion. What's your reaction?
Well, being a lawyer, I know that obviously there's always tapes. Sometimes there's good tapes, sometimes there's bad tapes. And obviously, I love Karen. I think she's the star of that show. She's very entertaining. She's beautiful. She's quick on her feet. I think she's the queen of Potomac, personally. And I think but at the same time, I understand, and I don't, allegedly, she's in rehab. And so at the end of the day, she has to take care of herself emotionally and physically. And so if that means missing a reunion, so be it, because she's got to take care of herself. And so that's a health question versus a entertainment value question. And so I just want her to be better, come back her beautiful self, and just show the girls how to play.
I know. I feel that's what everyone is hoping that she can come back refreshed and recharged. Because, like you're saying, you can't really imagine Potomac without Karen Huger in it.
Yeah, you definitely not. I mean, she is the life of the party.
And because you have friends in all corners of the Housewives universe and the Bravo world at large, Phaedra, I am curious, what do you think New Jersey should do? Because Atlanta kind of came to a crossroads and the decision was to keep some of the OGs, bring some OGs back, add some new ladies. Do you think that Jersey should keep Melissa, keep Teresa, do a full reboot with a whole new cast? Like, what do you think they should do?
Um, Obviously, Teresa and I are friends. I'm friends with most of the girls in Jersey, to be honest. But everything has to evolve. Atlanta had to evolve. New York had to evolve. And so it might be time for them to pivot. However, I think there needs to be some old and definitely possibly some new. But I love Dolores. I love most of them. And again, that's not my decision, but I think everything has to change just so that the show continues to move forward.
And that's coming from the queen of
Well,
reinvention
I
herself.
was gonna say, I was like, I think every show just needs Phaedra. Like, you need to move to Jersey for a few weeks to help them out. You're the rehabilitation center. Yeah.
Wait, speaking of that, that reminds me of that Gene Simmons moment. Did you ever hear back from Gene? Did he reflect and ever apologize? That was ridiculous.
Absolutely not. Never heard from him. I mean, but I didn't expect to hear from him. He obviously doesn't like short black women. So
Like you ate
still black and I'm still petite, honey. So
like the way you ate his ass up, Phaedra. It was so good. Like he's a rocker, but he's never been rocked like that.
Yeah.
You know?
it was just shocking to me because I've been a big fan of his since I was a little girl. So I was very shocked. But I mean, all things that glitter aren't gold.
Well, except for you. Except for you, Phaedra.
All right, are you still craving a little more tea? Evan, tell them where to go.
Make sure to like and subscribe to Page 6 YouTube to check out all of our exclusive virtual reality interviews and more.